Welcome to our video course on the Myo Fascial 360-degree course. Now, first and foremost, I would like to tell you something very special, maybe one of your questions. What about the meaning of 360-degree or Myo Fascial? Now, this is the name of my course because I will give you a 360 vision of the human body in terms of the muscle chains that will give us the opportunity to balance the body when walking in a static position or in different postures. In many cases we work so much on the skeleton. Now, this is really very important, of course, but there's another thing which is very important, the fascial or muscular part. Now, if you work heavily, for example, or if you deliver a treatment, or even in a very specific way, if you work on some vertebral techniques or physical therapist manipulation or many other, let's say, technical modes, well, if the fascia, so if the muscular fascias are still tense, well, there's a high risk that fascia, that muscle, may generate a conflict for the rest of the system. So there may be tension for the rest of the body. This means that, maybe the patient came and see you for a specific problem, and the problem may just come back. So, in a very deep way, we will now be working on muscular, fascias. They will govern the body as chains from the bottom to the top, from the top down to the bottom, so that we can, let's say, counterbalance all of these forces. So you don't want to have one fascia, for example, dominating on another one. So let's have a look together at the muscular chains. Well, there are many such chains. I will be spending a little time on those which are very easy to treat for you, and they are, let's say, the most important ones. I will also give you information on what we want to be working on, because they are already, let's say, built into the treatment that I will teach you. So nothing will be set aside, nothing will be overlooked. So chain number one, posterior myofascial chain. Now, this is a chain that starts from the feet, and then it goes up along the Achilles tendon, posteriorly. It goes up to the twins, so the calves, femoral biceps, central line of the muscle system of the back, all the way up to the muscles of the neck, and then it goes all around the skull, and it sort of connects to the supraciliary arch. The second myofascial chain that I will be explaining to you and I will be teaching you is the anterior one. So this is very logical, but then of course I will go back to the details and I will tell you exactly where it goes or what it does specifically. Anyway, in this first video, I'd like you to have a general, vision of the system. Now, the anterior one counterbalances the force of the posterior one. So it starts from the mastoid. The connection is based there, and then it goes down anteriorly. It goes through the surface where you have the pectoralis muscles. When I say inserting the muscle, I mean the aponeurosis onto the sternum. So we have all of the central parts of the body. So in the picture, it's much easier for me to see it than to explain it. Anyway, it goes down, it takes the abdominal rectus part, and then it keeps going down, it goes through the legs, and again, it involves all the anterior muscles. I hope it's easy to follow me now. And we keep going down, so under the knees, tibial muscles, all the way down, so we reach basically the tip of our toes. So just imagine if one of the two systems pulls more than the other one, for example, the anterior one, it's just like a balance system. And this is why we use the word chain, because if you pull too much on the one side, so just imagine a strap bend or an elastic bend. One is pulling, the other one is sort of counter pulling. So if there's a perfect balance, you can really have a correct, standing position. But this is what happens, when you have this kind of, C-shaped, back, and in this case, there's plenty of decompensation. I mean, unbalanced, systems in our body leading to other problems. So the main objective of the course is to understand what to do in this case. Now there's another chain at the side, or lateral chain. So we have the lateral myofascial chains. Of course we have two, one on the right and another one on the left. So it is logical to say that you need to understand easily, what it does. So just imagine the right lateral chain. If it is, tightened or contracted, of course, the body and the head will move on the one side, including the shoulders. So in this case, there won't be any perfect axis. You can see here the attitude or the posture we have, just like something pulling on the right or on the left. This is why, the upper part of the body may lean on the one side. On the contrary, if the area, let's say, leans towards the left, you may see a picture like this. So, of course, we need to work on both systems. There will be some initial assessments, and we will be focusing on the main problem. So we have to assess that, for example, there's a right attitude or a left attitude. This is what we say, so that we know what to do in terms of the 360-degree myofascial system. Now, this information has to be quite complete, in my opinion, so we also have to treat the cross myofascial chain. This is similar to the lateral one, but this is what happens on the diaphragm. There are some sort of, crisscrossing forces. This is represented by muscular fibers. So you have, these areas made of muscular fibers, right and left, and of course they are activated while we walk. If you think of, what to do when you walk, you put forward the right hand and the left foot. So, of course, monkeys do the opposite. They walk, let's say, in the following way. So, right and left, hand and foot forward at the same time. Human beings have this sort of, crossed movement. This is what we do. This is how we behave when we walk. So, this is what we activate. We activate fibers. This is a dynamic observation. We have to work at the myofascial or cross the myofascial muscles. Okay, well, you have to know that, in my opinion, these are the main, areas or sections. As I said at the beginning of the video, of course, there are many other muscles, but of course, what you can see in my course is doing what it takes to have long-term results, plus other techniques that you are familiar with. For example, the technique on the vertebral facial treatments, or for example, the deep tissue vertebral techniques, and many other techniques that you know maybe much better than me. So you will be able to use, this teaching, and please don't forget what you already know. So just add this to what you already have in your knowledge. Now, this, video course may be just one single complete treatment, but I prefer to say that this comes on top of what you already know how to do. It's something that you can add, and it will be necessary to counterbalance the forces governing the body. So there will be an analysis, and of course, step by step, we will see where the patient has to be treated, and in that case, we will go in depth, so with a deep sort of, grooving, as I like to say, very intense, deep massage or grooving-like massage, because what we need is a deep relaxation of those muscular fascias, because again, what we want to have is that long-term effect.